Welcome in, everybody. Ty Bartell, YSNLive.com here with an Austintown Fitch Falcon State Send-Off. And the nice hour-long edition here presented by Sam's Wedge Inn. I'm here with Austintown Fitch Falcons head coach, Steve Ward.
What's up, Ty?
Not much, Coach. I mean, I'm sure you got a lot on your mind right now going into Friday's game. Let's talk about this season, though. But before we kind of talk about this season, I want to look at last season, kind of the way last year ended, how it ended, how you guys were able to adjust. Pressure was applied since day one. I think everyone knew what the expectations were, which was kind of different from last year. How was it battling through the expectations? And I mean, you guys still undefeated to this point, so I'd say you've answered the critics pretty well.
You know, we talked to players quite a bit about the expectations that are going to be put on them, and we talked a lot about that outside noise and the outside expectations. And God bless it, our community, our schools behind us, people are behind us, and they believe in what we could do. So those expectations they put on us are rightfully so, because the girls have played well throughout and, you know, lived up to the billing every single time. So going into the off season, you know, we started our training in September in the weight room, and we really talked to the girls about what team do we want to become, because last year's team was last year's team. That we're no longer that team. That's etched in the history books. Amazing credit to what they've done. Now who are we going to be? Now who are our senior leaders going to be, and who else is going to step up to really make this team gel? And wow, did they ever do it?
We want to talk about just levels of talent that is on this team, and I know you have seen such tremendous players, so many tremendous teams that have come under your wing, under your guide, under your leadership. But when talking about this team specific, is this team one of, if not the best team that you've ever coached in your high school coaching career?
Well, since 2005, each Falcon team has represented the community and our school system extremely well. We're extremely proud of each class that went through there. They all had their own battles to fight. They all branded themselves Fitch softball, and above all, they left their imprint on history as well. This year's team, unbelievable. It just has gelled together. It has been an amazing experience. There's been, you know, some bumps in the road, some challenges, some things that have developed our grit, that developed our chemistry throughout, you know, the way here. And wow, what can I say about this team? You know, top to bottom, people coming off the bench, everybody contributes, whether they're in the game or they're not. Everybody has an important role, and everybody has lived up to that role.
I know your coaching style, person over player mentality. It's one of the strong points that you teach and preach to all these girls. Where did that kind of mentality form in you? Where did you start getting that mentality of person over player as a coach? And what would you kind of, I guess, say your leadership style is that coincides with that person over player mentality?
But there's so much pressure put on these girls, and so much driven into them in travel leagues, and, you know, oh, college coaches are going to be here for this, and you better do this, you better do that. And it's a constant nonstop barrage. And so once Lydia and Becky Spalding came into the program, we really talked about that. We really talked about how travel is such a grind, how travel is just so cutthroat. We want these high school years to be something special. They're the friends you grew up with since 5, 6, 7 years old. You started playing with them at 8 years old. They're your neighborhood friends. Let's make this special in a different way. And then with just the world the way it is now, these players have so much going on outside the sport that we wanted it to be their safe haven. We wanted this to be their place where they could just be themselves and not worry about so many other things going on in the world. And we really worked hard, and we really spend a lot of time team building. We spend a lot of time talking to these players. We spend a lot of outside time, whether in the hallways, stopping to see them in the classrooms, whether it's a text message, a call after you know something maybe didn't go their way that day. Not just in practice. Practice is practice. They're going to make mistakes. It's fine. But, you know, maybe something went on with a boyfriend. Maybe something went on, you didn't do as good as you wanted to on a test. You know what? We wanted the coaching staff and the players to be there for each other, to build each other up, to know that every single one of our kids in our program have a support system.
When we talk about that mentality, though, and I'm going to take it a step further, and I know the team, too. I know how loud that dugout gets. I know their personalities shine brightest, too, especially when they're on that diamond. But when we talk about production as a player, how is it walking that fine line of getting the most out of the player part while allowing them to still have that person part intact?
Standards. We have standards. Everybody meets those standards or you're not a part of the program. And that's just that is the base level of what we build everything on. Is we have such high standards of what is expected of you as a student, as an athlete, and you are checking those two boxes. We are able to coach you along, and we know what you're able to do. So we understand mistakes are going to happen in a game. What we ask the players is be mentally ready. If a physical mistake happens, that's the game. That's part of the game. You can live with that. But come ready. Come ready to be the best teammate that you could be, and everything else is going to fall into place. And is it a fine line? Yes. Yes, it is, but it's well worth it because you see the result. You see the happiness within our team. You see the zero drama atmosphere, and you see every kid going crazy for each other.
There was a lot of returners from last year's team, and I know you being a big fan of Abraham Lincoln and how he kind of failed forward all the way into success. So I want to ask you about last year, the way it ended, the loss to Hoover, obviously a heartbreaker, but I know the best coaches, best teams are able to respond through heartbreak too, and they know that builds them. How did you guys respond after that loss last year to get your girls back to that regional title point and be able to overcome that, get yourself into the state Final Four?
Well, we always talk that we want to go one step further. We want to go one step more than what we did, and how are we going to do that? So we watched the game film, we broke it down, we looked at what went wrong, what went right, and then more importantly, what can we do better as a coaching staff to prepare these girls for those moments? And so throughout practices, it is absolutely a focal point for us to say, okay, let's get in the mindset. Here's this situation, here's this moment. Put it in your mind. How are we going to respond? What is going on? And, our girls took it to heart. And, like I tell you guys, we're the most serious, unserious team in the world because each one of those players would just do everything that they could for each other. And so if a mistake happens, they take it to heart, but it's those other players building them back up. And if in our dugout, Coach Fiddler did this wonderful thing. She got 11 by 17 paper, got the brick wall behind it, put a player's name, and we built our wall of each other, starting with our seniors' names all the way up to incoming freshmen, just so they could visually see that we are a wall together. That's the building blocks. It's us together all the time, and that is what's going to propel us forward.
You guys challenge yourself too with a very strong non-conference schedule. Obviously, the conference is very strong as well. I know DJ asked Coach Kernan this on the other night, so I want to ask you too about those two games with Campfield. You guys co-champions 4 times consecutively now. You've owned a piece of the AAC pie 3 times prior to you were sole owners. Just talk to me from your perspective how those games kind of went out. I know best business decision. You want to make sure everyone's healthy for playoffs. You guys had bigger fish to fry, but I know that competitor in Coach Ward wishes that maybe circumstances would have been different, that you could have gotten that game and it could have had a winner.
Well, I'll tell you, with Coach Kernan and I, if we were playing chess or checkers, we would probably be the most aggressive chess players you would see. Much respect to him and his program. That first game was called due to darkness, and what a whale of a game that was. And what I'd love to see from both of those games is the grit both teams developed, to where if they scored, we responded back immediately. We scored, they responded back. And as a competitor, you love to see that atmosphere of a game. That was, as we told our girls, championship level game right there. That is a state title game with the crowd, with the noise, with everything going on, and all the pressure surrounding it. What are we going to do? So at the end, it was a tie. Nobody's happy in that, but everybody understands the reason why. And you see that both of us are in the state Final Four now, and it kind of is what it is. And when that game ended, we talked to the team briefly about it the next day and said, now it's regional time. And boy, did we show up big in that.
Yeah, you absolutely did. And let's talk about next game up. I know you're a very next game up type of mentality as a coach. Next game up is Lebanon. State Final Four. You guys have a chance to get to the final game, but you got to get through this one first. Based off of what you've seen, you're kind of scouting what you're looking ahead. I know you guys are going to focus on yourselves a lot, but what are the things you guys are going to need to do to get from Friday to Saturday?
Well, I think that, obviously they're well coached and have talent. That goes without saying, being at this point. I think they're going to try to attack us on the outside quite a bit, very similar to the game plans that the previous 3 teams had. And so, again, it comes down to us, is that if we execute our game plan that we've been working on this week from what we know of this team, if we come out and be ourselves, if, as Maddie Buta said in her interview with Anthony, we're really good at making big moments small. And, we've been constantly telling the team, I don't know if you're a fan of the old Hoosiers movie, where he dropped the tape down and said, hey, this hoop is 10 feet, free throw line's 15. That's all we've been telling our girls all week is when you get to Firestone, and many of them have played in Firestone before, so they're not going to be in awe of the wonderful, I mean, they will be, but it's a wonderful facility. But, we stress to the girls 60 feet, 43 feet. Outfield's the same. When we get inside these lines, all that other outside noise, all the other things going on, it's game on. And they're really taking it to heart, and I think you're going to see us ready to go.
I've had a chance to talk with a lot of the senior leaders on this team, and I've just been so impressed with the leadership, so impressed with the unselfishness from those senior leaders. And I know you being a coach, like you said, since 05, you've had your share of saying bye to a lot of seniors. Does it ever get any easier saying bye to those senior leaders that have meant so much to a team, but knowing that the process is the process, team has to grow, they have to filter out eventually, but does it ever get easier saying bye to the seniors year in and year out?
No, and that's honestly one of my more emotional moments is those moments where we do have to say goodbye. But then, just got to sit with Maddie Taylor at McKenna's graduation party. Saw Kayla Schubert. Saw Sydney come down to our game. It's nonstop seeing players come back. Callie Mikovich, that was part of the 2013. Alex Franken was there, part of the 2013 team that won districts. They're texting, they're coming to the games, they're seeing us, and it's just seeing them come back. It really warms our heart to know that Falcon family isn't just a saying, that it's true. It's here with us. Once you graduate from us, any one of these coaching staffs that we've had throughout the years, my wife did such an amazing job for so many years, just building the program in the youth, building it up. And, any one of them could call any one of us, and we're going to be there for them. That's Falcon family right there. And I love everything that they have sacrificed. But I will tell you, these seniors are a special group.
So passionate about the Austintown community. I know you and I have had discussions before where you're saying, I have no interest taking talents anywhere else. I want to be here. I want to be here. What is that? Why is that love so strong for this town, for this team, for this school system?
I'm going to live and die here, and that's just what it is. There's no other job that I'd ever want to take. There's no other school system that I would ever want to teach in. My family's from here. My brothers graduated from here. My parents still have their house on Derbyshire. We live in Capitol Estates. My son, my daughter's going to start high school, and I can't wait for her to have the experiences that, these kids get to have, because our school system is just not about sports. Our drama, our band, our choir, all the extracurricular activities. I mean, our science department, our math department, top notch. I will put them up against anybody in the state. Obviously my English department, we're pretty darn good too. History is just fantastic teachers, top to bottom. I can't say enough about our school system. When you have the ability as a parent at some point to say, where do you want your child to go? It was hands down Austintown local schools. Anybody that ever asked, hey, I have a kid going into kindergarten, Austintown. Austintown, 100%. The opportunities are tremendous. The teaching staff is tremendous. The administration is tremendous. Athletic department, tremendous. Central office, tremendous. And, look at our facilities that we get to work with. Not just in sports, but also on the academic side. Just amazing.
I know your love for the Falcon family is strong, but I also know you're a pretty big softball connoisseur outside of the Falcons. So you had conversations with Coach Kernan and Coach DeRose. How cool is it for you as a softball fan, as a softball coach in the area, to see not just one, not just two, but three teams at the state Final Four level, and three teams with an opportunity to bring some state title gold that are all 15 minutes away from each other?
And that's what we said. When I called both coaches up today to wish them good luck tomorrow and told them that, they're probably going to have some of us there for the games and cheering them on. It's like when you said, all 15 miles away from each other, man, talk about the teams on Route 46. When we do this and we do what, we hope we want to accomplish, all three teams, I think we got to rename Route 46 Championship Boulevard, because, wow, you drive 5 minutes, you go face Molina Toth and the Canfield Cardinals. Wow, you drive another, 10 minutes, and you got Julie Stakowitz and the Raiders. They come up our way. We got Sydney Watts and our crew. Holy mackerel. Name a better three teams in Ohio that are within each other this much. Our area is so rich, and that goes to credit with the parents starting earlier and earlier. That goes to credit with the coaches in the area. All coaches build up this area. I'm friends with all of them. We support each other. Yeah, we go like heck competing, but man, I can't wait to see both Canfield and South Range take care of business tomorrow.
I know you're in the locker room, obviously, all the time. You hear the conversations amongst the girls. You talked about this being one of the best additions of your team, but from your standpoint, from the entire team's standpoint, is there anyone that you think can beat this team right now? No one has this season, but where's that confidence level at with you and this whole team right now?
The biggest thing that we say is we don't care who does it as long as we do it, and that's where the confidence comes from. If maybe 1 through 4 isn't getting it done in those first at-bats, 5 through 9 has that opportunity, and then 10 through 19 can come off the bench and spark us. You look at Christina Montgomery coming off the bench right now, big hits, big runs. You saw Lily Stevens come in, man, get that big RBI for us, and anyone can get called at any time, and it's knowing that everyone in the dugout has the opportunity to just be a big part of this. Just gives us confidence to know somebody is going to do it. And throughout the season, you've seen multiple people do it. So as long as we trust in each other to not say, hey, I'm up, I got to do it. Hey, you know what? Maybe I didn't get the at-bat I want, but I know she's going to do it.
Coach, I wish you the best of luck Friday, too. I hope you guys are able to get to Saturday and bring one home for the Valley. This has been an edition of Coach's Corner on the Austintown Fitch Falcons State Send-Off Show with Coach Steve Ward. After this, we'll be back with some of the seniors, Caitlin Mitchell and McKenna Hogan.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Hi, I want to tell you about my Trish Yearwood home collection available at Sheely's Furniture. With 2 locations serving Ohio and Pennsylvania, Sheely's is one of the country's top sellers of my home collection. And the best part? At Sheely's, you never have to wait for a sale. They offer everyday low pricing as well as a price match guarantee, so you can shop the Trish Yearwood home collection with confidence. Come see my collection with something to offer for every room in your home and get it all with free local delivery, only at Sheely's Furniture.
Welcome back, everybody. Ty Bartell, YSNLive.com, back with a couple of the seniors from the Austintown Fitch Falcons softball team, both McKenna Hogan and Caitlin Mitchell. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Presented again by Sam's Wedge Inn, so we thank Sam's Wedge Inn for hosting this event. Girls, I'm going to get right into it. You guys, I know, set out a goal from last year, the way the season ended, and we all kind of knew the goal was to get back to that level, exceed. Talk about that journey, where it started, how it started last year, and how it's progressed all the way to where you guys are right now.
So 2 years ago, we got knocked out in district finals, so we set a goal to get farther. So then last year, it was regional finals. This year, I feel like we just wanted to come back so much stronger, and we did that in regional finals this year. To be able to play this Friday in state semis is something that we really wanted.
Yeah, we worked really hard at the off season. There was a lot of open gyms. We did lots of lifting just to come back stronger, not physically but also mentally. That definitely took a toll on us last year, losing to Hoover. So we just want to come back stronger this year, and I think we did that.
Ken, I want to ask you about just the experience you had these last few years and the level of talent that you've been able to catch to. I know we talked about this a little bit before. Lydia Spalding, Julia Stackowitz, you got Sydney Watts now. You had all these pitchers under your belt. Talk to me about catching behind the plate, but I also know your desire to kind of maybe pitch in a ball game. You've expressed desire to pitch in a ball game too. Talk to me about where that desire is too, but also just behind the plate, being able to catch all these high-level arms and what that's done for you in your career.
Well, I've always wanted to pitch. It started definitely in 10U. It was between me and Julie, who became a pitcher, and she just had more of the natural talent, so I became a catcher at that point. But the love of it never went away. I've always been the practice pitcher. Like, I'll pitch in practice, a lot of travel. She'll let me pitch. But I always just want to do it in a game, and she said, Coach Kim, Julie's mom, said that if I committed my senior year and she's still my coach, I can pitch in one game, and I never let her forget it, so that's coming up this travel season.
We're going to be looking forward to it. Make sure we hold her too.
But just catching those high-level pitchers, it means everything. They're definitely the biggest reason why I am playing at the next level is just being able to catch them, and they just gave me a huge confidence. Number one, having Lydia Spalding, who's going to Penn State, so knowing I'm catching a Penn State commit was a huge confidence booster. And then now Julie, she's committed for college, and then now we know Sydney can go anywhere she wants. It's just a huge confidence booster for me.
Now, Caitlin, I know a lot of your story starts before the game and getting ready to. You have your rituals, you have your kind of superstitions. Talk to me, go through a game day routine for Caitlin Mitchell and what it's like getting ready right before first pitch.
It all starts in the morning. McKenna braids my hair every single game day. If there's enough time, yeah.
So you have to make time out for this almost all the time.
Yeah, the days we've been off, she comes to my house before games. We make time for it every day.
Yeah, I have to have bubbles in my hair. And then I usually get to the field 30 minutes before any game. And I kind of do everything the same. I mean, we do bands, I throw with Ayla, and then me and Ayla are usually the last ones to hit. And I just like taking my time with hitting in the warm-ups because I really want to focus on that for the game.
I think it's really cool that you two are going to continue your careers at the college level and still have the opportunity to be teammates at the next level. From your perspective, how cool is that you guys are at least going to have one another going into the next level? But also, I guess question for both of you, is it challenging knowing that you kind of maybe have 1 foot out the door, 1 foot still in? You got business that you're absolutely focusing and tending to, but you know that the college scene is right around the corner for both of you.
It's nice knowing that we're going to the same college, and I'm going to know McKenna already going in there. And I'm just excited to see what we can both do at Notre Dame College, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking going to college, especially moving out. So just knowing that I have a familiar face there and it's someone I'm already close with, it just helps moving out and knowing I'll be comfortable with at least one person there.
For you, Kenna, from cheerleading off the field to being a leader that cheers her team on the field, where did that transition take place to where you kind of pushed away the cheerleading and said, I want to put all my time into this. I want to invest into softball?
Well, the only time I liked cheerleading was the competition, so I knew it wasn't for me. So I had to choose a sport that was more competitive, and softball, it's competitive every single game and basically every single at bat. So I just knew I needed something more competitive, and softball was the sport I chose.
For both of you two, you've also had that unique experience, and I've talked with a couple of the seniors about this, but I don't think we've actually had this conversation. You both didn't have your freshman year of softball, completely axed because of COVID. What was that like as a challenge, I guess, preparing yourself in sophomore year, but you guys are basically all freshmen with the freshmen. How was that to be able to transition yourselves now into college level ball players, missing a full year of varsity high school softball?
Well, we kind of had an idea our freshman year that we weren't going to be playing that year. It was kind of a bummer for us because we didn't have that year like mostly everyone else did. And just coming in sophomore year, we knew we had to compete, and we knew we had to show everyone what we could do because we didn't get that first season. So I feel like we were just ready to compete our sophomore years, and that's what we did.
It was definitely hard losing our freshman year because we did everything to prepare, and we was canceled, I think, the weekend before our first scrimmage. So we did all the preparing, all the open gyms. So it was really hard to lose that. So we were all learning with all the freshmen. We were technically upperclassmen because we've been there, but we weren't at the same time because we still didn't have that freshman year to learn from.
You've also had a chance to play with a lot of great talented players that have come through the lineup that you've played on the infield with. So many players that I'm sure you could give shout outs to, but when you're talking about teams as a whole, how does this team rank compared to other teams you've been a part of, both in the high school scene, both in the travel scene? How close is this team and how big has this team been on your career?
We all have so much energy and we made so many memories my whole entire high school career with them. And just being able to play with this amazing team, it's just really memorable for me, and I won't forget anything that we did.
Kenna, the whole off season for you, I absolutely love because you are an example of hard work can pay off too. And I know all the noise that was about Fitch's bottom of the order last year, about the bottom of the order having its struggles. You took it upon yourself to not only improve your defense and the catching aspect of your game that you have to do, but you vastly improved your offense. You had, I think, 200-plus points added to your average. So much work went into it, and I know so much work behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. But just talk to me about that challenge that you took upon yourself to say, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to be better, I'm going to improve every aspect of your game, then coming out your senior season and being able to say you did that.
I was definitely disappointed in myself last year just in my hitting, and I knew I wanted to have a strong senior campaign, so I knew I had to work hard in the off-season. It definitely took a weight off my shoulders coming in, being already committed. That took a big weight off, so I know my confidence already was boosted. But I did a lot of hard work in the off-season with Maddie Kurtz, which is Columbiana's coach. Me and her, we did lessons at least once a week, sometimes even twice a week. And we really worked on, we rebuilt my swing, we broke it down and just built it from the bottom up. And it really definitely showed, and she's definitely helped me just boost my confidence in my swing.
When I'm talking about you too, Caitlin, I know you're always smiling, silent typically on the field. You don't really care where they put you in the batting order. You just want to be there for your team. You just want to produce. But when you're talking about the game, your game in particular, what was some of the biggest things that you think you've improved upon since your first season playing this sport at the varsity level to now?
I feel like my ability to move towards the ball in the infield has definitely gotten better. And I also feel like my swing in the batter's box has changed a lot. And I just feel like everything that I've done to make myself better as a player has definitely made me just who I am today.
You have a love for country music. You must too, because I know Nashville's kind of on that bucket list too. Where'd this love for country music start, Cowboys start, and the love for, I guess, Nashville as a whole, Music City?
My family, on my mom's side, they're all from like the middle of PA. They're in a small town, and I've always listened to my cousins, and they've always listened to country music. And I just loved country music, and I went to Nashville once last year for a travel tournament, and I fell in love, and I've always wanted to move there ever since. I just loved it.
I need to know a little bit more about this senior prank, the toilet paper prank, right? I think I got a little bit of insight from Maddie Butis the one time, but I need to know from your guys' perspective, because you guys had the ability to not only play the prank on a bunch of other seniors before you got the prank played on you. So I guess give the rundown of what the traditional senior toilet paper prank is at Austintown Fitch.
Every year, the night before senior night, all the underclassmen, we all get together and we go toilet paper the seniors' houses. And we've always just had fun with it, and it's the way to all mess with each other. Sometimes the seniors play pranks back. Like I know last year we got eggs, which we didn't have the most fun with. But this year they got me. They put hot dogs in my truck. My whole truck was filled with hot dogs. And so we just do the things that kind of annoy each other just because we know what we can get for each other.
Yeah, it's something that seniors look forward to every single year. And it's nice that the underclassmen keep the tradition going. And it's just, we loved it this year.
I know Coach Ward's huge on the person over player mentality. That's like one of the biggest sayings inside this team. So what are some of the hobbies outside the sport of softball when you guys get to step off the diamond? What are some things you guys do to kind of ease your mind and relax your mind as hobbies?
I watch Netflix. and I lay in my bed. And I usually just go out, hang out with my friends, and swim. And it's just nice to be able to just relax sometimes because every athlete needs a little break.
For me, definitely hang out with my friends is a big thing I like to do. I love watching my friends play softball. My whole life is softball, so I really don't have any hobbies outside of it. I love coaching. The younger girls, I help coach fiddler coach, just giving back to the softball community. So I love to coach the younger girls, go watch my friends play softball. There's always someone playing, so I just love going to watch.
The sport of softball is growing exponentially in the area, both in participants and viewers as well. A lot of people are jumping on board and loving what they're seeing, especially with the local talent that we have. Let's talk about this game a little bit coming up on Friday against Lebanon. I know you guys, undefeated to this point, best of the best, go down to Myrtle Beach. You took care of business there. You've taken care of business now. What's the mentality inside of the locker room heading into Friday's game, knowing that you guys are 2 wins away, but you got to take care of Friday to get to Saturday?
I just know that we have been working very hard to get to this point in our season, and we're all looking forward to Friday. We know Lebanon is very good competition, so I'm excited to see what we can do versus them and what we can create.
I'm definitely very excited, and I know we all are as well. We worked really hard to get here just in the off season. Just so many hours have gone into it, so it's really just time to trust what we've done and just show all the work we put in.
Last question before I let you ladies go too, because you guys are in a special circumstance, senior season, and you guys capture the first regional title since 1993. And I know Fitch team sports, it's always an uphill battle just because of the competition that you have to face once you get to the tournament. How much has it mean to you guys as seniors to kind of have that chip on your shoulder, that to put that cape on and say, we were able to get back to the state Final Four and we were that team that was able to break through?
I feel like all of us seniors really wanted this season, and to be able to be there, it's been 30 years, I think, right? In the last 30 years, I just feel like we're just all looking forward to it, and we know some parents and adults that have played in that game 30 years ago. To be able to hear from them what they experienced at that time, I'm just really looking forward to it.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, all of us seniors got together and had a huge meeting together and really talked about where we wanted to go this season and what we needed to do as a team to get there. So we've definitely tried using that meeting and to prove what we needed to do, and I feel like we've definitely done that this year. And we're all just very excited to get back there, especially for all the people that played 30 years ago. It's definitely cool to talk to all of them and just show what we've done.
I've talked to just about every single one of the players on your team, and I can't tell you how many freshmen and sophomores look up to you two ladies, and your name was mentioned so heavily in all of their interviews. You guys have left a lasting impact. You definitely put your footprint on this program too, and that leadership shines every day. These two have been such great leaders for the Austintown program too. Couple of seniors that don't want their season to end. They need 2 more games under their belt before it does. As we say thank you to both McKenna Hogan and Caitlin Mitchell. And when we come back, we'll be talking with Ayla Ray and Sydney Watts.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn.
Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience, WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats.
Go Dogs.
Go Tigers.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These 3 values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Mill Creek Metro Parks is your park for all seasons. Make a memory in the park. Plan your visit today at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Ty Bartell back with a couple of the superstars on Austintown Pitch as we're here for the Austintown Pitch Falcons State Send-Off Show. Sydney Watts, Ayla Ray, thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I want to talk a little bit about your journey, but before we even get to this state title journey, you two have had a journey that started way back, Valley Extreme, I think, 9U between you two? How close of a bond is there between the two of you, and where did this friendship start, and how has it kept going all the way into the high school level?
It started just from tryouts. We just started, as soon as we got to tryouts, we played catch together, and it just kind of started that. Basically, yeah.
I know you personally wanted to go to the Austintown Pitch school system because of the Rays, because Ayla's been there. And Ayla, for as talented as both of you are too, you guys have nothing but compliments to give each other. I know I've talked to both of you. But how much does it mean to both of you, knowing how talented she is, how talented you are, that you guys say she's the best hitter in the country, she's one of the best pitchers in the country? How much do you guys feed off that support for one another, and how much do you feed off the competition that you guys have with one another?
Yeah, it feels great competing against Sydney, even at practice, and since such a young age, it just feels great knowing I've been going up against the best of my whole entire life. It feels great because, just knowing how hard we both work to get where we are, and all of our hard work's finally paying off.
You are a thrill seeker, though, I know. Roller coasters are your jam, too. And I got to ask, out of the roller coasters you've been on, which one's your favorite? But also, I have to ask two-part question on that. Do you get more thrill of going down the big hill of a roller coaster or getting that big-time strikeout in the circle?
Okay, so my favorite roller coaster is probably Top Thrill Dragster while I was still going.
Really?
But I really like Steel Vengeance, their newest roller coaster at Cedar Point. But definitely striking people out.
We talk about the strikeouts that you've had, too, 600 plus. You, though, don't strike out a ton at all, too. You've taken it upon yourself to be one of the best hitters in the entire country. Talk to me a little bit about just the work that's gone in with your dad. I know you and your dad work so hard together. But situationally in sports, because I know you're a multi-sport athlete, are you more comfortable at the line, late game, 1-and-1 free throws in basketball, or 2 strikes on you, 7th inning in softball?
Definitely 2 strikes in softball. I feel way more confident. Basketball is kind of a side sport.
When you get to 2 strikes, too, you're one of the players, and I mean, Anthony Hartwig on the network has definitely touted this. Your approach almost completely changes, and you become a different type of hitter. What is that protect mode like, and how are you able to, I guess, change that approach at the plate while still kind of being yourself overall as a player?
When I have 2 strikes, I know I have to see the ball really well and just make contact with it. So I just stick my bat out and let my swing do the rest.
Sid, the number of stats that you've had and you've accumulated at pitch is already impressive. 2 seasons under your belt. You're gunning for so many records. But I know as impressive as your ERA is, your GPA has also been pretty impressive, 4.0 in the sophomore season. For people that don't know the amount of work that you put in the offseason when people aren't watching practice-wise, all the other drills you're doing, how hard was it and how big of an accomplishment was it for you to see that you were able to accomplish a 4.0 GPA while doing what you did in the circle?
It meant a lot to me after struggling a lot last year, just getting my work done with softball. I had a really hard time last year managing everything, but this year I feel like I did really good managing both school and sports because, like I said, last year, a lot of the times I put softball over my school, and I just found a good balance this year.
Ayla, there's been so many athletes in your family that have gone on to the next level. state champions in volleyball, national champions in volleyball at OSU. You've had 3 cousins that have gone to play OSU basketball. Your mom was a roller skater champion too, national champion. When you talk about just the level of talent that you've had in your family, does it create more pressure on you, or does it motivate you, give you more confidence as yourself as an athlete trying to get to the next level, which we know you're committed verbally to Youngstown State?
It's definitely a little bit of pressure knowing that so much success has happened in my family, but it's also motivation knowing that it's happened in my family and I can get there as well.
For you, Sid, I guess that 9U, Ed Beavers is one name that I heard was such a difference maker in your career too. But there was a little bit of adversity getting to pitch with Ed Beavers at such a young age. But I know Mama Bear was able to make it happen. What was that experience like at a young age to be able to be with such a talented coach, such a talented mind for the sport too? And how did that help develop your game to now?
So when I was younger, I was told I wasn't good enough to play travel ball, and that just kind of drove me to be the player I am today. Ed has pushed me all along the whole entire way, and actually I was with him today, and just our practices are so good when I'm with him that he just helps tune everything up.
I know you were told at the 9-year-old level too, you weren't going to be cut out for softball. You battled through that adversity, and thank goodness you never gave up the sport. When you talk about battling adversity, I want to go back to last year too, and how the season ended, because I think it was a good growing point for this team and the returners on this team. How did you battle through that adversity? I also know going into the offseason, you dealt with some injuries. You're able to battle your way back. You came back just as stronger than you were even last year. What was that like, battling through that adversity, going through the offseason, getting to this point?
I think battling the adversity makes you stronger. I feel like if you're able to overcome what was wrong, you'll ultimately come out stronger on top.
I know the connection that you two have too is so strong that I've been told there's a look that you two can give each other that maybe 10 minutes of conversation couldn't justify between other players. How strong is the connection, Ayla, that you have with Sid to be able, defensively, offensively, be able to just give a look and know what she's thinking and vice versa?
Yeah, our connection is very strong. Ever since that tryout in 10U on Valley Extreme, we've been together ever since. We were always over each other's houses. We always were just hanging out with each other. And so we learned a lot about each other throughout that game.
One of the pre-game rituals for you is just shotgunning Ghost Energy drinks to get yourself amped up for a game. Give me the backstory behind where that started with you and Kenna doing that. And for you, Ayla, being as good of a hitter as you are there any superstitions? Are there any pre-game rituals for you? Whoever wants to take it first.
Okay, so the ghost thing, I brought a ghost to our first scrimmage this year, and McKenna just she tried, but I was like, this is good, and we just started doing it. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I want to shotgun this, so I shotgunned it, and it just became our thing.
And for you?
I don't have a lot of superstitions, but before every game, me and Maddie do this. We take our energy drink that we have, and we do a charge. So we get down on one knee and we charge the drink and just chuck it.
When we talk about not just you two that have played for such a long time, girls like Sammy Sever and girls like Kylie Folkwine, a lot of these girls have been there every step of the way. And I know you two play on travel teams. This isn't your only team, not your only home team. But out of all the teams that you play for, does any other team give you that family feel like this one does because of just how long a big core of you guys have been playing together for?
I feel like this team gives us much more of a family feel since we're all so close. Being that my team's out of Georgia, my travel team is out of Georgia, I only get to see them over the summer. So I just feel like we're friends on and off the field. During high school season, not during high school season, we're just always there here for each other. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I feel like the travel teams, you're only close in the summer because it's so spread out. But here, we're just always spending time together.
You're obsessed with softball. You're obsessed with Ghost Energy. You're also obsessed with Morgan Wallen. Where did that obsession start too? As it's one of your go-tos, I know, to jam out to when you're not playing and pregame. warm-ups?
It's a big thing for me and my mom. That's all we listen to on the car rides. So, like, say we're going to camps, that's all we listen to on the way to camps and the way to tournaments. It's a thing with me and my mom.
Is there one song that gets both of you just jamming in the car, singing like loud, screaming down?
More than my hometown.
No doubt, no doubt. Both of you, I feel like, constantly have a chip on your shoulder, and it's interesting because I feel like both of you are so talented, but you find ways to just feel like adversity, or people are counting you out, or people are going against you. How do you guys manage to keep that kind of chip on your shoulder, to keep that confidence and that aggressiveness to keep getting better and wanting to keep getting better as players?
I feel like we've both worked so hard growing up, and now that it's just, we just want to prove everyone wrong.
I want to talk a little bit about this game on Friday, because we can't go without talking about it. Obviously, it's always that next game mentality. I know how Coach Ward is too, but you guys are now on the doorstep. There's only 2 more games that a team in Division I can win, and you guys have a chance to be one of those teams. You got to take care of Friday going into Saturday. But what is your feeling, being so young as you are too, going into Friday's game, knowing that you guys have a chance to get to that state championship?
I'm not worried at all. We have it. Just the hard work we put it to come this far. It's just another game for us. So I'm not worried. Yeah, I'm very confident in this game. I feel like we've been working really hard all season, and we've gotten this far, and we can't let them down.
Have you put into perspective as players, and also I guess as community members, how much it means that this is the first team in 30 years for the softball team that is going to state too, and how much this community and beyond is rallying behind this team too? Have you put into perspective how much this team means to the community?
I mean, the community has really supported us throughout this whole entire journey, and it just feels great knowing that we're a part of the team that is making history. Just like she said, like the community behind us, I feel like that's really big, knowing that a Fitch team hasn't won states ever, and we could potentially be the first team to do it.
I got a question that was keyed in too from the moms, and I got to ask the both of you, how clean is your room right now?
It's not horrible. It's not horrible. You can see the ground. Yeah, you can see the ground.
Well, I hope you guys are cleaning things up too on the field too, maybe cleaning your room, but we talk about some things maybe you want to check off. Cleaning your room might be one of them before state. But what are just the final things you guys are going to do? This will be the last question to you. The final things that you guys are going to do, just getting preparation, getting prepared for Friday too. What's your mentality like going through these next couple of days?
Definitely just staying within ourselves, having tomorrow to get ready for this game, just having a good practice tomorrow and being ready for it. Like she said, having a good practice tomorrow, then making sure like we recover before Friday, and then it'll be good.
Well, ladies, I wish you the best of luck on Friday. I know I'm rooting for you. I think the entire city of Austintown is rooting for you, and even beyond that as well. So Friday, you can catch these girls on ysnlive.com. We're going to have the audio-only broadcast completely free for anyone who can't be there in attendance. But we're going to be rooting on the Falcons and a couple other local area teams as they try to bring home some state title glory. This is Sydney Watts, Ayla Ray, Ty Bartell, ysnlive.com. We'll see you Friday in the state semifinal.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Clint.
Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience, WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.